Assalamualaikum. I hope that you are all well in your own home during this critical time. Today I have come here to discuss a class with you of class 7. Dear student, today we will discuss transformation of sentence, an important topic in your grammar section, and that is a transformation of sentence. Dear student, follow me what I am doing and what I am telling you, how to transform the sentence from one sentence to another one. Dear student, today I will discuss in front of you the rule and technique of assertive to interrogative sentence. Follow the poster, dear student. Here you can see a poster, dear student, from assertive to interrogative. Here I have written 6 rules and I will discuss it in front of you now. Follow the chart. Dear student, here you can see that in assertive sentence, if there is to be verb, that means I have written here that to be verb যুক্ত হলে, assertive sentence e to be verb যুক্ত হলে. Now I am writing a sentence. Follow the sentence. Here I have written a sentence that Shanu is a good student, and in this sentence you can see that there is a verb and that is. Is a to be verb here. So I have written a rule in front of you in the chart that if there is to be verb in assertive sentence and then it will transform into interrogative form, but at first we have to write verb to be, that is verb to be is, and then NT or not. We know that the short form of not is N apostrophe T. Dear student, the short form of not is N apostrophe T. That's why I have to write isn't. Dear student, is plus not equal to isn't. Do you see it? So I have to write isn't. Then plus subject and baki ansho, the latter part of the sentence. Then I have to write subject Shanu. Shanu is a good student. If I want to make it an interrogative sentence, at first I have to write isn't and then subject and then the latter part of the sentence. The latter part of the sentence is a good student. So I have to write it a good student, and then I have to put a question mark, that is note of interrogation. The another name of question mark is the note of interrogation. That's why the student follow the chart. If there is to be verb in assertive sentence, then I have to write in interrogative sentence. At first I have to write to be verb, and then NT, that is isn't, and then I have to write subject, and the subject in this sentence is Shanu. So I have to write here Shanu, and then the latter part of the sentence, and the latter part of the sentence is a good student. So I have written here a good student. So dear student, now I think that you are fully aware of the topic that I have transformed from assertive to interrogative. Then I am writing another sentence. Please follow the sentence. Here I have written the sentence that Rina is a dutiful girl. If I want to make it an interrogative sentence, at first I have to write verb and NT, that is not. So I have to write here is plus not equal to isn't. Dear student, do you understand it? Yes, I think that you are fully understand it, because at first I have to write to be verb, and that is to be verb is, and next I have to write not, that is isn't, and then subject. In this subject Rina, and then I have to write the latter part of the sentence. The latter part of the sentence is a dutiful girl. So I have to write here a dutiful girl. Dutiful girl. That is a sentence that isn't Rina a dutiful girl. And then at the end of the sentence, I have to put the question mark, that is the note of interrogation that I have told you before. Dear student, now come rule number 2. Here you can see that negative assertive hole. You all know that the assertive sentence are of two classification. There are two classification of assertive sentence. The first one is affirmative and the next one is negative. Shudran, negative assertive hole, that means the sentence will be negative. Dear student, now I am writing a sentence here. Please follow me. Here I have written a sentence that the lady was not fair. The lady was not fair. The sentence is assertive, but it is in negative form. That I have told you before that the assertive sentence are of two kinds. The first one is affirmative and the next one is negative. That's why I have written here a sentence of assertive but in negative form. Dear student, have you understood it? Negative assertive, the sentence is a negative assertive sentence. If the sentence is negative assertive, if I want to transform it into interrogative sentence, at first I have to write negative participle উঠে যায়. Negative participle means not. Auxiliary verb প্রথমে বসে. At first I have to write auxiliary verb. That means was. I have to write was at the beginning of the sentence, and then subject. Here you can see a subject, and the subject is the lady. So I have to write it the lady. Was the lady. And then the latter part of the sentence. The latter part of the sentence is fair. So now the answer is, was the lady fair? And at the end of the sentence I have to write the note of exclamation. That's why this sentence has been transformed into interrogative sentence, and this one was assertive sentence. Dear student, clear it? Next, now I am writing another sentence in negative assertive sentence. Parveen is not a teacher. Here you can see that I have written the sentence, and the sentence is Parveen is not a teacher. Now I have to write at first is and the negative particle here not. Dear student, not will not be written in this sentence, is, and then I have to write subject is Parveen, because Parveen is the subject in this sentence, is Parveen, and then I have to write the latter part of the sentence, and the latter part of the sentence is now a teacher. That's why at this moment I have to write a teacher. And then note of interrogation, and the answer is Parveen a teacher? Here I have done that, is, and the negative particle will not be used here, and then I have to write subject, and the subject is Parveen, and then the latter part of the sentence, and the latter part of the sentence is a teacher. So the answer is Parveen a teacher? Next, dear student, you see here that rule number 3, auxiliary verb begin. That means without any auxiliary verb. There are some sentences where we find only main verb, there is no auxiliary verb. That's why follow rule number 3. If there is any auxiliary verb, now I am writing a sentence like this. My mother loves me. Dear student, here you can see the sentence, and in this sentence there is no auxiliary verb. Here I have written a main verb, and the main verb is loves. Student, can you understand it? There is no auxiliary verb. That's why I have written here auxiliary verb begin. At first I have to write subject or tense অনুযায়ী don't, doesn't, didn't. That's why I have to write don't or doesn't or didn't according to subject and tense. According to subject and tense, now I have to write don't, doesn't, and didn't. If we see the sentence, we find here that the verb is in present form, and there is a s at the end of the verb. That's why we have to start the sentence with doesn't, because at the end of the verb there is a s. If there is a s at the end of the verb, we have to start the sentence with doesn't. Yes, dear student, doesn't. I have written here doesn't, and then subject, and in this sentence the subject is my mother. Doesn't my mother, and then verb এর পর বাকি সব. That means the latter part after the verb, and here we can see that only one word after the verb, and the word is me. And at the end of the sentence I have to write the note of interrogation, because it is an interrogative sentence. So the student see here that the answer is doesn't my mother, sorry, and I have a mistake here, doesn't my mother love. Here verb will be written here, doesn't my mother love me. Dear student, now you can see the full answer of this sentence. Here I have written that my mother loves me. It is an assertive sentence, and now I have written the sentence in interrogative form, and the interrogative form of this sentence is, doesn't my mother love me? Now I am writing another sentence for you to understand clearly. Student, follow me. He helped the poor students. সে গরিব ছাত্রছাত্রীদেরকে সাহায্য করে. Here I have written a sentence in past form because I have written here helped. The sentence that I have written before, you saw that the sentence was in present form because because I wrote the verb loves, but now I am writing the verb help. That's why it is a past form of verb. That's why the sentence is past tense, past indefinite tense. And so at the beginning of the sentence of interrogative on, I have to write didn't because the help is past form. So I have to write didn't. And then subject, and subject is he. Didn't he? And then verb. I have to write the base form of verb, not helped. Ed will not be added here because didn't. I have to write here didn't. That's why help will only be written here. Help. Didn't he help? And then I have to write the latter part of the sentence, and that is the poor student. And then the note of interrogation. He helped the poor students. The answer is, didn't he help the poor student? Dear student, now follow rule number 4. Never oblique nothing. Here I have written that never oblique nothing. If there is never or nothing in assertive sentence, then if we want to transform it into interrogative on, I have to write ever in place of never and anything in place of nothing. And the other rule will be like the rule number 3. Dear student, follow me. Jewel never tells a lie. Here is a sentence of assertive, and now I have to transform it into negative. That's why the rule number 3 will be applied here also, and that is, here you can see a verb, and the verb is tell. If the verb is present form, at the beginning of the sentence we have to write don't or doesn't, but we don't or we can't use or write don't here because at the end of the verb there is a word and the word is yes, that means tells, and the sentence is in present form. That's why at the beginning of this interrogative sentence we have to write doesn't. And then subject, and the subject is Jewel. Doesn't Jewel. Here we can see a word and the word is never, and I have told you before that never will be transformed into ever, or ever will be written in place of never, and anything will be written in place of nothing. That's why here we cannot write never, we have to write ever. Student, you can see here that in this assertive sentence there is a word and the word is never, but I have written here ever. That is the rule. Never will be transformed into ever, or ever will be written in place of never. And then the other word, and the other word is a lie. The sentence is Joel never tells a lie, and the interrogative sentence is doesn't Joel ever tell a lie? Tell a lie. Student, now I am writing another sentence. Hena ate nothing. Here you see that the verb is past form. That's why at the beginning of the sentence I have to write didn't. Didn't. And then subject, didn't Hena. And then verb. Here I am writing it. I don't write it because the sentence was past tense. But now I am writing an interrogative sentence, and at the beginning of the sentence I have written here didn't. That's why I can't write it here. I have to write the base form. I have to write the present form of the verb it. That's why here I am writing it, and there is a word nothing. If there is nothing, nothing will be written anything. And then the note of interrogation. Yesterday you can see here that Hena ate nothing, and the interrogative one is didn't Hena eat anything. I hope that you are clear to it. Now rule number 5. All, everyone and everybody. If there is these words in assertive sentence, at the beginning of the interrogative sentence we have to write who. That's a sentence. Please follow the board. Student, here I have written a sentence that everyone respects an honest man. প্রত্যেকে একজন সৎ মানুষকে পছন্দ করে. Here you can see that I have written here every, and every, in place of every, at first we have to write who. Who, and then don't, or doesn't, or didn't. The sentence is present indefinite tense, and that's why I have to write doesn't, because there is a s at the end of the verb. If there is a s at the end of the verb, then I have to write doesn't. That's why now I have to write doesn't. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? And then verb, present form. The verb will be present form, that is base form, not s. who doesn't respect. Dear student, follow here that in this assertive sentence the verb is respects, but in this interrogative sentence I have written here only respect. Here yes is not added here because at the beginning of the interrogative sentence I have written who and then doesn't. That's why I can't write yes here, and then I have to write the latter part after the verb, and that is an honest man. An honest man. Dear student, here you can see the answer that who doesn't respect an honest man. And the assertive sentence was everyone respects an honest man, and the interrogative one is who doesn't respect an honest man. And then I am writing another sentence for you to understand. Dear student, follow the board. Everybody came to me. Here I have written a sentence of assertive that everybody came to me. If I want to transform it into interrogative sentence, at first I have to write who in place of everybody. Who. And you can see here that the verb is past form. That is, I have to write who didn't. Who didn't. And then I have to write verb. And the verb is came. But here came, I can't write came here. Because the sentence is past form and I have written an auxiliary verb did. So I have to write the base form of come. And that is come. Who didn't come, and then the latter part of the sentence, and that is to me. Student, now we can see a clear answer that everybody came to me, the assertive sentence, and then the interrogative one is who didn't came to me. Who didn't came to me. Sorry, who didn't come to me. Yes, today now rule number 6. Rule number 6, here we can see that no one, none or nobody. If there is no one, none or nobody in assertive sentence, then if we want to transform it into interrogative sentence, at first we have to write who and then the other part of the sentence, and at the end of the sentence there will be the note of interrogation. Dear student, I am writing a sentence. Please follow. I have written here that no one can do this sum. And then I am writing another sentence. Nobody can escape from death. Nobody can escape from death. Here I have written two sentences, and in these two sentences you can see the word no one and nobody. That is in the rule of assertive sentence. If there is no one, none and nobody in assertive sentence, if I want to transform it into interrogative on, at first I have to write who. So who. Here I have to write who. And then the latter part of the sentence. The latter part of the sentence can do this sum? Who can do this sum? Dear student, and then the another sentence, nobody can escape from death. In place of nobody, I have to write who, and the other part of the sentence will be in its actual form. There is no sense here. So I have to write who can escape from death. Dear student, we have completed our rules from assertive to interrogative, and the last one was no one can do this sum, who can do this sum, and the another one, nobody can escape from death, who can escape from death. And at the end of the sentence we have to write the note of interrogation of every sentence. Yes student, now I am showing you another chart, and the chart is about exclamatory to assertive. Here you can see the chart that I have written. That I have written here, that student, exclamatory to assertive, and the structure of exclamatory sentence: how plus adjective plus subject plus verb, and then the note of exclamation. And the assertive one is subject verb very plus adjective plus bakyangsho if there is in the sentences. Now I am writing an exclamatory sentence. Please follow it. How beautiful the pen is. This is a sentence of exclamatory. Dear student, if I want to transform it into assertive one, at first I have to write subject, and the subject in this sentence is the pen. I have written here the pen, and then I have to write verb. Here you can see a verb, and the verb is. The pen is, and then I have to write very. It is better to say that if the sentence starts with how, then we have to write very. Dear student, clear it? I am telling you again that if the exclamatory sentence starts with how, then I have to use only very. The pen is very. And then adjective. Here we can see the position of adjective is after how. After how we can see the position of adjective. And in this sentence the adjective is beautiful. That's why I have to write after verb beautiful. Beautiful. The pen is very beautiful. Dear student, you can see that sentence is exclamatory. Now I have written this sentence, and the sentence is the pen is very beautiful, and this one is an assertive sentence. That's next. What a/and plus adjective plus noun plus subject plus verb plus note of exclamation. And that's why now I am writing a sentence in this structure. At first, what? What an exciting game cricket is. What an exciting game cricket is. Dear student, follow this structure. At first I have written here what a/and. Here I have written what an. An used here because the adjective is exciting, and at the beginning of that adjective we have we are finding here that a word E, and E is a vowel. That's why I have to write here N. Dear student, you know the rule that if the word is started with a vowel, then we have to write N before that word. That's why I have written here N. And then I have to transform it into assertive one. First, I have to write subject. The subject in this sentence is cricket. And then verb. Verb is, and then a very. A very. And then adjective. And the adjective is exciting. And then the noun. And the noun is game. Dear student, you can see that here I have written a sentence of exclamatory. What an exciting game cricket is. I have written it into assertive one. And the assertive one is cricket is a very exciting game. I hope that you are clear here. And then I am going to next rule, and the rule number 3. If দ্বারা শুরু হলে, if the sentence starts with if, please see it. If I were a bird. যদি আমি একটা পাখি হতাম, here you can see that the sentence starts with if. If the sentence starts with if, at first we have to write subject plus wish. Dear student, you can see here a subject, and the subject is I. That's why I have to write I wish. I wish. And then if a পরের অংশ, that means the latter part of it. The latter part of it is I were a bat. But that's why I have to write I wish I were a bird. Dear student, you see here that we have written an assertive sentence in full form. I wish I were a bird. And then we have to go the rule number 4. Had দ্বারা শুরু হলে, if the sentence starts with had, then we have to write in assertive form. Now I am writing a sentence here. Had I been a rich man. Student, you see that here had is used at the beginning of the sentence. So I have to follow this structure, this rule. At first, subject and wish. Here subject is I wish, and then had এর পরের অংশ, after had, I wish I had been a rich man. Students, see here that here I have written in exclamatory one, had I been a rich man, and the assertive one is I wish I had been a rich man. Then the final one, and the final one is hurre থাকলে. Sometimes we find hurre in the exclamatory sentence. If there is hurre in the exclamatory sentence, we have to transform it just like this rule. At first we have to write subject. Now I am writing a sentence. Hurre, we have won the game. At first we have to write subject. That means we. And then rejoice. We rejoice. Rejoice means আনন্দ করে বলা. Rejoice means আনন্দ করে বলা. We rejoice, and that. We rejoice that. And then we have to write the latter part after hurry, and that is we have won the game. Student, now you see here that hurry, we have won the game is an exclamatory sentence, and the assertive sentence of this sentence is we rejoice that we have won the game. That's all. That is all for today, dear student. Hope that you are all able to understand my point. the grammatical point. You will practice it in your home, and I hope that you are all well in your own home. So goodbye today. See you again.